Now, if you click on that query options, so here we can add the source filter, source sorting options and all, right? Now what we can do is, I know that you're struggling to see that whole property window, but whenever we click on a particular transformation, right, on the right hand side, you can just say maximize. So it will be, yeah, anyways, we are working on source transformation, right? So we can just utilize the full screen. And then whenever we want to go to next transformation, again, we can minimize, select the transformation and start providing the properties, start setting the properties for it, right? Now the filter and sort tab we have here. So click on that configure, which is next to filter. So here, if you see, for filter, we have non-parameterized, parameterized, and advanced type, right? So this will allow to have the filters on the source table, right? So if you click on that plus sign, this will allow you to select object. So object gonna be our customers. Select that customers, then select the fields. Yeah, customer ID first and last name, right? So maybe if you click on customer ID, right? If you want to have a filter on customer ID, say for example, customer ID, select the operator greater than and say 101. Okay, so this is how we have applied a filter on the customer ID, which has to be greater than 101. Then if you again click on plus sign, right, you will be able to put the
Add
filters
more
on
fields.
different
Filters.
fields, right? That is how you do it. So
Mm.
delete that for now. And then if you go to the sort tab, here you will be able to provide the fields on which you need to sort the data in the ascending order, right? So click and then select the object, which would be customers again. Can you select the object?
Okay.
Yeah, customer, and then you can sort on customer ID or anything, right? Usually we'll sort the data on the primary key, which is customer ID. So you can sort on customer ID. Okay. So this is how you can apply filter and sorting options on the source. Here default is the ascending only, right? If you want to do the descending sort, right, then we will have to apply the sorter transformation after the source. Now we have selected customer table with the filter and sorting options which are mentioned over here. Now we can even select the distinct rows only, right? There is a checkbox, right? So if we have duplicates, right, in the source and
Yeah.
on the basis
Mm.
of customer ID, as we have selected that in the sorting, right? So if you want to deduplicate the data in the form of customer ID, then if we select that, right, select distinct, right, then we will have the distinct data flowing in from the source. We will only select the distinct data. Now our customer table is having a primary key on the customer ID, so there is no way we will have duplicates. But then there could be few tables where constraints are not defined, and to deduplicate the data, we can use it. This is similar function we have in the Power Center as well, right? And if you expand it advanced, so here we can have the pre-SQL, post-SQL, SQL override, right? Those things we can configure over here, right? So pre-SQL and post-SQL will be there in source and target, both the transformations. Tracing level also, if you just scroll, right, that drop down, you will see normal, verbose initialization, verbose data, right? So here in Informatica Cloud, every transformation you will be able to select the tracing levels, right? Terse, normal, verbose data, verbose initialization, right? We will keep it normal only. But say, for example, if you're facing some issue and then if you are kind of backtracing the things, right? In that case, you can switch it to verbose data and then you can run the mapping. So that what will happen? Not the whole mapping, but just the transformation will run on the verbose mode and then we'll get the detailed log about that transformation, right? Why we run something on verbose? Whenever we are getting some undesired result, right? So that time we will switch the tracing levels to verbose, and then in the session log, right, session log will be really really large, right, and every single row, right, what happened to that will come in my session log, right? Here every transformation we can set this tracing levels, right? So say for example you have a mapping where you have like 10-15 transformations and you know that a specific transformation is causing some issue. So only for that transformation you can set the tracing level to verbose, run the mapping so that you will get the enlarged log only for that transformation, not for whole mapping. Okay. So that is what the dressing level you will find in every single transformation over here. So we'll keep it as normal only, right? Pre-SQL and post-SQL, these two things you will see in the source as well as target. We have this in Power Center also, right? So what is pre-SQL source? Whenever we run the mapping, right? First of all, Informatica will check, do we have anything in pre-SQL? If yes, then the pre-SQL will be executed first. Once pre-SQL is completed, then Informatica will start reading the data from source. Okay. Once the data is read from the source and before we start taking that data to next transformation, post-SQL source will be executed. Right. So pre-SQL, before even reading the data from source, post-SQL, we have read the data from source, we are yet to take it to the next transformation. That time post-SQL will be executed. Then pre-SQL and post-SQL will be there in targets as well, target transform, right? We'll see that, but just to explain, pre-SQL target will be executed whenever we are yet to start writing data to target, right? And post-SQL target will be after doing everything. Once the data is pulled from source, written to target, committed, everything, then last step will be post-session target, right? So these things are used mainly to kind of rebuild the indexes, or to run some SQL based, related SQL based queries and all, right? As a pre and post, right? We can use it. Okay. So this is what my source tab is. Now, if you click on the fields tab on the left hand side, so this will show you the columns which are there, right? After you select the table or flat file, whatever source, right? It will show you what is the structure of the source. So here we have these 6 columns, data types, precisions, everything will be able to see. Okay. And then the last tab is the partitions tab, right? So if you want to apply the partitions, then we can use it, right? So you see key range partition over here. So again, for partition, we have another module, another topic. So we'll discuss the partition that time. Okay. Now go to the mapping canvas.
Okay.
It is still invalid because we are yet to configure the target, right?
Yeah,
So now
target.
click on the
Yeah.
target. Again, go to the properties. You can expand the property panel. Now again, you can rename the target as TGT underscore ORCL or something, anything. Now, if you go to the incoming fields, right, this will show the fields which are coming from the previous transformations, all previous transformations. Now, before target, we just have source, right? So it is showing the the fields which are coming from the source transformation, customer, origin is customer. But say, for example, if you add expression in between source and target, and if you create new ports in the expression, right? So those ports will also show up in the incoming fields. Incoming fields means whatever number of transformations are falling before this particular, right? Incoming fields, tab you will see in every single transformation, right? We'll see that, right? Currently, we just have source and target, and then before target, we have just source. So whatever fields are coming from source, those are getting listed over here. Now, if you see field rule, right? By default, you will see field rule as include, and the field selection criteria is all fields. What does that mean? We are selecting all the fields. We are considering all the fields. But say for example, you have like a lot of columns, 100 columns you are getting from source, and you just need to process 20, 30, or even 10 from them, right? In that case, what you could do is you can go to that all fields, selection criteria, all fields, click on that. You will see a drop down, right? So now if you click
Mm.
on that all fields, right, drop down, you will see options like name fields, field by type, field by pattern, right? So if you click on the name fields and then click anywhere on the, so here, right? Now click configure, detail configure. Here you will see the list of columns, 6 columns, right, coming from source. And if you want to be choosy about which columns, right, then you can just select those columns. Maybe you just select address, customer ID, email, first name. Just select 4 for now. And then just click on OK. Now what will happen? Name fields, and then you have included 4. So it shows that, and that 4 fields having a hyperlink. You can click on that again, you can select the fields, right? So now from those 6 fields, you have only selected 4 fields, right? So if you want to be choosy about which fields you want to process, right, then you can just change, right, from all fields to name fields, right? Now, what you could do is like again go to name fields because here we want to consider all the columns, right? So again, yeah, and then select that drop down name fields and then just say all fields. Okay, click anywhere in the property panel. Yeah, now you will see all the fields. Then again click on the left hand side target tab. Here we are going to select the target connection and target table, right? So just select Oracle connection again. Now target type could be single object, right? Click on that second drop down, or the parameter. Means if you want to parameterize the target, right? Target table, right? You can do that, right? As of now, we'll see, we'll select the single object only. Then object select, right? If you click on select, right? Then you will see a box where target object could be existing or create new at runtime. Existing as in whatever targets are already present in your database, those are getting listed over here, right? Maybe you can use any of the existing tables, or if you click on create new at runtime, right, then this will allow you to create a new target table on the fly to be created, right? In Informatica Power Center, we could create the files, right, on the fly. Here we can create files, even tables as well, right? So we can create tables also on the fly. Okay, for now we'll go with the existing, and then in the next demo we will select the create new at runtime. Okay, so now if you go to the existing and then just select customer underscore customer orders, right? So select second one, click OK. So we have selected the existing table over here, right? Then the operation could be insert, click on that operation drop down. It could be insert, update, upsert, delete, data driven, right? The way we want to process the data, accordingly we can use the operation. For now, we will just use the insert as it is going to be very basic mapping. We'll go with the insert, right? After selecting the insert, you will see couple of more options: truncate target table and enable target bulk load, right? So truncate, if you select, right, then what will happen? Every time you run this mapping, your target will be truncated and then the fresh data will be loaded, right? If you unselect that, right, then it will keep on inserting the data without truncating the existing one. That is your truncate target option. Enable target bulk load, right? Means if you want to run this mapping in a bulk load, then you can enable that. But usually we use the bulk load wherever we have like lot of data, like millions and millions record we are processing. And then other thing is target table should not have the constraints, primary key, foreign key, right? Those constraints target table should not have, right? This is same with Informatica Power Center as well, right? If you have the constraints, then bulk load will fail, right? So that is why we'll keep it as unchecked for now. Then if you go to the advanced, so here again you will see pre-SQL, post-SQL, right? So again, these are the same things which we just discussed. Pre-SQL is before writing data to target. Post-SQL is after finishing everything, right? Then update override also we can provide, again similar to Power Center. If you want to update the target table by providing some query, right? Then we can provide that in the update override. Okay. Now if you click on the target fields, again on the left hand side panel, this will show us the fields, the columns which are there in the target table. So we have 13 columns with this particular data type, precision, everything is mentioned. Okay, then click on the field mappings. Here we'll have to map the fields across source and target. From source, we are just bringing 6 columns. In target, we have these many. Okay, so easiest way to
Probably
map the
drag and
fields
drop,
is
huh?
like you can drag drop,
Mm.
right? Or on the right hand
Mm-hmm.
side, you have that auto map option. So if you click the exact field name, the first option, whatever fields are with exact same name, address to address, phone to phone, customer ID to customer ID, they will get mapped. But again, go to auto map again, and there is a smart map option. Yeah, using that, even first name to F name, last name to L name will get mapped. Okay, so this is how we have mapped all the 6 columns over here. Okay, and then you can again click the save button on the top. Your mapping will get validated and it will get saved. So
What
now
is
if you
this
see,
options?
yeah, click on that. Yeah, so it is like show all, show mapped fields only, show unmapped fields only. So why we use this? Because say for example, we have like a lot of mappings to be done, right? Then if you go to show map, click on that, it will show you the mappings which are only mapped across, right? The fields. And then if you're still, you know, yet to kind of map the some of the fields, if you just say show unmapped, right? Then you'll see
Yeah, it
the
will show
fields which are
the map.
unmapped like that. Okay, so you can just do the mapping.
Okay.
That is right. So you can click all fields in the options, show all. Okay. Now you have saved the mapping, right? And it is valid as well, right? We can run the individual mapping as well, right? Unlike Power Center, we do not have constraint that you have to create a mapping. On top of mapping, you'll create a session, then you'll create a workflow, and then you'll run the workflow, right? Here, individual mapping can also be executed, can be run, right? So now click on that run button on the top. Whenever you click on run, right, whenever you want to run a mapping, individual mapping, it will always ask you to select the runtime environment, right? So click on that runtime environment drop down. By default it will show you the hosted agent. You will have to select the one which you have configured. Okay, and then after selecting the runtime environment, you can click the run button at the down. Secure agent is, you'll have to use, yeah, desktop, I guess. Now click run. Now your mapping is executed. So click on that My Jobs tab, which is there, right, listed. Okay.
My job,
Anyways, you
sir.
can just,
Okay.
yeah, you can go there as well. Yeah. Now you'll see your mapping is running over here. It is completed as well. 6 rows it
Success. Yeah.
integrated. So click on that instance name, the mapping name. There is a hyperlink. So here you will see the statistics. It took 10 seconds only. It processes 6 rows. Success row 6, error 0, right? Then from the source and target also, from source you pulled 6 rows and customer orders below, right? You see below individual source target results, right? From source you pulled 6, from customer in the customer target table you
Did
populated 6
6.
rows, right? And
Yeah.
on the about side again, there is a session log, right? Download session log hyperlink. So if you click on that, the session log will be downloaded on your local machine. We'll have to download that. Okay, it is similar structure. There is no difference across Informatica Power Center and Informatica Cloud. The way session log is arranged, the data in the session log, right? So you can close it. Okay, so mapping is executed now. Now we'll verify whether this data which is actually shown, right, is it really populated to target, right?